Hey boys and girls, today we're going to create a Piet Mondrian inspired spider web with spider. So it's about fall, that time of year when you will see these little creatures loving to make their webs. They love the fall, it's nice and cool. So I'm going to turn to an empty page in my sketchbook. And since I'm going to be working on the back, I'm going to go ahead and flip it over. Now you can see my drawing I already did in pencil, but I'm going to teach you guys how to do it, and I'm going to do it in marker this time, or pen. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the center of my sketchbook page. And actually, I'm going to leave it open just so I can mark the center. So here's how you mark the center of your page. Now, if you don't want your spider in the center, you want it somewhere else, then you don't have to do this part. But if you want it in the center like mine, what I did is I went from corner to corner, and you draw a line. Now, I'm not going to draw it all the way to the corner because I put the date there. I always love to date my pictures, that way I know when I created them exactly. Okay. Then I'm going to do the opposite corner to corner. So you're making a giant X, and this will mark off the center. So that is exactly the center of our page, is right where the X intersects. You know, X marks the spot. So to create our spider, and now I bet you didn't know this about me, but I'm very afraid of them. I've never liked spiders. I've had many traumatic experiences with them, but I do appreciate them, and I know they do good for the world, and they eat lots of pesky insects like mosquitoes and ants and flies and things. So I get why they're so important in the world, but I just find them so creepy. So I'm going to start with the back of the spider. So I start with a circle. So I'm going to draw a circle right over this X. Doesn't have to be a perfect circle, just a circle. Then right next to it, I'm going to draw a smaller circle, and they are going to touch. If they overlap a little bit, that's perfectly fine. Okay, now a spider, how it kills its prey is it has fangs, and it will bite them. So I'm going to add some fangs right at the front. So I add like a curved V to make my fangs. So I draw a curved line and a curved line back. Curved line back. So now for the legs. Now people get this wrong. They think a spider has 6 legs, but it doesn't. That's an insect. An insect has 6 legs. A spider is part of the arachnid family of creatures, and arachnids have 8 legs. And I bet you didn't know that a tick is an arachnid, is not an insect, it's an arachnid. So I'm gonna add my 8 legs. Now you don't have to make them as intricate and detailed as my legs. You can just draw lines if you want to. But I like to add elbows and wrists, just like us. So I start where the head is. That's where the legs are gonna come out of. So I'm gonna draw 1, 2, and 3 lines. And then I like symmetry, so I'm gonna try to copy the same on the other. Now to give it a little bit more interest, I'm gonna make the part that connects to his body, I'm gonna make that the thickest part, the one in the middle to be the thinnest, to be the like medium size, and the one on the end to be the thinnest. And I'm gonna repeat that 3 more times. So here's my second leg on this side. And then I'm gonna beef it up a little bit. This also covers up some mistakes that I made because I'm using a pen. Now you could do this all in pencil, and I recommend pencil for you guys. but since I've already drawn it in pencil, I'm outlining it. Okay, so I have 4 legs now. I need 4 more. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's getting so creepy now. All right. He's starting to look like a spider. A really creepy one. All right, so now there's 6 legs. So if I stop there, it'd be an insect, not an arachnid. But I'm gonna add 1 more set of legs to make him a true spider. Luckily, this spider can't hurt us because he's a drawing. You know, and some of you might like spiders, you know? All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna color in his head and his body and his fangs. I'm gonna make them all black. The reason why I'm making them all black is this is a Piet Mondrian inspired spider. So we're gonna be using black and white, and then with the primary colors. So I'm gonna go ahead and color him all in black. Now, if you wanted to make him colorful, that's fine. You are your own artist, but I'm gonna go ahead and make him all black. Oh, he's so creepy. Ooh. All right, now I'm gonna do the rest of my web. So I'm gonna add some more lines. So now I'm gonna do my vertical line. This is the line that goes up to down. And because my spider is already colored in, I can draw right through. And then I'm gonna add my horizontal line. That's a line that goes side to side, just like that. Now you can stop there. That's plenty of lines. You don't need any more, but I just don't know when to stop, so I like to add more. So I'm gonna add some line in between there, and another line in between here, and I'm just gonna keep going. So I'm gonna add some more lines. So again, you'll be doing this in pencil, and then you can outline it in pen or color pencil. Sharpie likes to bleed through the paper. Even though this is really thick drawing paper, I like to use front and back of my sketchbook. So that's why I use the Sharpie pen. And because it's so thin, you can see my lines through it. So I'm gonna draw and color the opposite way to color them in. All right. So I'm gonna close my marker because now I'm gonna erase. So I'm gonna erase my original drawing and get nice, clean, black spider web and spider. So I'm just using my eraser. If you have a separate eraser, that's fine too. I'm just using the one that's attached to my pencil. And if you drew lightly, your lines are easy to erase. Okay, so now we're gonna add more to our web. So we get to add some more lines. So spiders are known to be the weavers of the animal world. So they weave their webs all the time, and they're so good at it because they get destroyed naturally all the time, and they have to rebuild them all the time. So this part of weaving is called the warp. It's the starting of your weaving, and then what you weave through is called the weft. So we're gonna add that next. So let me find my little worksheet over here. Here we go. All right, so I'm gonna do pen again, but if you wanna practice in pencil, actually I'll start with pencil just to show you. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add my connecting pieces of the web. So I'm gonna treat 2 lines together, just 2 of them. I'm not gonna worry about the whole web. I'm just gonna worry about the 2 lines that are next to each other. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna connect one line to the other. Now you can always do a straight line, or what I like to do is a curve. Maybe that's too hard for you to see. So let's switch to pin. So curve lines. Now a spider is an animal, so they are not perfect. They're far from perfect. So sometimes I like to not be perfect too when it comes to making a spider web. So notice I curve out towards the edge. Then I'm going to turn my page and I'm going to focus on the next two. And I'm going to add some more. Now if you want them to line up perfectly like those two, you can. But again, it's a spider, so I don't think he's that concerned if it's perfect. He just wants some place to hang out. Then I just keep going around and around until my spider web is all finished. There's a spider web. Now, to make it a Piet Mondrian inspired spider web, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some color. So I have my primary colors here: red, yellow, and blue. And I also have black. And I'm gonna do some coloring. So this is completely up to you. Oh, I knew that was gonna happen. It's gonna break on me, so sorry about the noise. I'm gonna sharpen my pencil. I'm sure that happens to you guys all the time too. That's why I kind of like a dull tip to a color pencil, because they don't break as easily. So now what I'm gonna do is, because of my lines that go from the middle and my curved lines, they make a shape. It's not exactly a rectangle, but it's similar to one. So I'm gonna just color in some of those shapes. And I'm gonna color it in very randomly. So wherever I feel like coloring is where that color is gonna go. Okay, boys and girls, I feel like I colored in as much as I think I need to. I left a lot of spaces white because Piet Mondrian also left things white as well. All right, see you later. Bye.